Queen V.
And I'm Dr. E. Queen V, we have an audacious musician in the house today. And not only is he an audacious musician, we have your son. I want you to introduce this wonderful, handsome man to the world. Let's talk about Mr. Cedie. Who is he?
He is Cedrick James Reynolds, and he is phenomenal. Not only musician, Dr. E, but singer and producer. He plays multiple instruments, sings the house down, and I am just as amazed as you are about the level of his talent.
Well, you know what? I'm so happy to have him here. I might even ask him to sing a little melody at some point.
Hey.
But, you know, Cedie said, I mean, you're so talented. I might ask you to just do a little beat before we get off, but let's rock and roll. And
let's
your mom, Vanita Reynolds, she is so proud of you, and I'm just proud to see you. Cedie said, "Okay, Sister Queen V, take it on. Let's talk about this man."
Right.
Well, first of all, I have to give props to his parents, the late Pastor Ced Reynolds and his beautiful mom, Barbara Reynolds, who actually birthed him. He was a gift to me and remains a gift to me. But they were the OGs. They were the original ones. And so we always want to give homage to them. But he is a gift in every way, a gift in every way. I have loved him since I met him. He's just my son. But Cedi, how in the world did you ever know that you had this musical genius? Because it is a genius. Where did this brilliance come from? How long have you been playing? When did you discover it?
Well, it was pretty much my parents that discovered it before. I was in a piano class when I was 5, and they put me in piano. I wanted to play the drums. So I'm in the piano class, I'm doing everything, and then I'm falling asleep in the class. So it was boring to me. And the teacher told my parents, they said, "Hey, this guy, he has a talent, he gets it, but putting him in a box necessarily might not be the best thing for him." So the teacher actually recommended they pull me out of piano class.
Wow.
And so from there, I didn't play any instruments for like a couple years because my parents were just like, "All right, well, if we don't put him in a box, do we put him in music or what do we do?" I ended up in the church one day, just hopped on the drums and learned this one beat and just was playing it for hours. And then ended up, being on praise and worship team, and then went through every single instrument. And I don't know, it was the grace of God. Like, there was one day I didn't know how to play the piano at all, but it was in the middle of a worship service. I just started playing the piano and singing.
Wow.
And played 3 songs, just made up 3 songs and played it.
We're talking about you left your piano class because you were bored, and for 2 years you didn't do nothing, but then you started playing instrument and it was intuitive. Is that what I'm saying? Hearing is it was more intuitive as opposed to you going to some other lessons and having to learn formally?
Yeah, it was pretty much all intuitive. I mean, I got an informal lesson to make this beat on the drums, and then being able to watch people and then just kind of replicating, because I'm able to hear by ear, and we've had a piano in my house, and I would just, like Mary Had a Little Lamb, I would take out songs on the piano and just when I was a kid and just be able to take it out by listening to it. So it's been a lot of just intuition and a little bit of studying on my own as well. As I got, more into the practice, I kind of wanted to learn, okay, am I holding the sticks right? Am I holding the guitar right? All of that. So just been a long process, but yeah, for the most part, no lessons.
So what really nurtured that? What nurtured this? You started doing this stuff. You started playing instruments, but there had to be some nurturing to keep you motivated to keep doing that.
Yeah, it was not. Maybe it was more of a passion, because the way I saw music, it was in the worship form. So it's always been even a source of like meditation, a source of release, and a source of comfort that it gave me. So whenever I attacked music in that regard, it was more of just an expression of my spirit. So
Wow.
with that being the leading and the guiding light to everything that I did, it made music a little bit more understandable, more palatable, because I believe it's a connection to the emotion. So with that, I was able just to really convey whatever instrument that I was on in a more powerful way, because people were connected within the emotions.
Well, now, how many instruments do you actually play? Because I've heard you on several and you master them all. You know, anybody that heard you would think you were a professional guitarist, a professional keyboardist, a professional drummer. How many instruments do you have in your toolkit?
I would say about 5, like confidently, and then 6 if you count vocals. But drums, bass, guitar, ukulele, and piano.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the vocals as well. So
yeah.
yeah,
You're
and those
amazing. And it is absolutely a brilliant gifting. I believe you're just born with it. I don't think that your level of genius can be taught. You know, it really can't. I mean, I could try all day.
you know, it's kind of weird because most people are only good at one.
Yeah.
So to be good at multiple, it still kind of, gets me. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. But it's just the grace of God, that's all I equate it to.
Well, Cedi, it's my understanding that you had the opportunity to work with Morris Day. What was that like? I mean, it's like you're saying, okay, I tell you, you're really reserved and you're very, it's like you come across like it's really not a big deal having all these gifts or whatever, but that propelled you to be around great artists. What was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. And honestly, like, from what I expected to what I got when I was there, like, he was just the most humble guy. And you wouldn't even think, like, unless you really knew who he was, you would just like, this is a regular guy, regular dude. And, with all the accolades and everywhere he's been and the people he's worked with as well, it was great to me to even have that reciprocation where he had a respect, because we're working on this project. I can't say exactly what we're doing, because it hasn't come out yet. So, but we're working on this project, and he's asking for my input, and the head engineer is asking for my input, and I'm saying, okay, do this, do that. Okay, I like that, but can you do this a little bit? And they were taking my input as far as collectively what the whole session, how we're running the session. I was running the session, so I honestly, stepped back a little bit. I was like, okay, I got some things to offer. All right. Like, Morris Day is asking me, what should I do? I'm like, hey, you should already know, but if you want my opinion and my suggestion, I'm gonna let you know. So it was just beautiful, like to be able to work with somebody in that capacity and to be able to reflect ideas off of each other and then really just show the growth within that. Like, it's a whole nother realm. It's a whole nother feeling, like, especially when it's on that music level too, because that's a language in and of itself.
Oh, absolutely. That few can master. And since you have mastered it, what would your ideal life be like in the musical genre? What would you bring on a perfect day?
Well, my dream and then the perfect day, well, they'll align eventually, but my dream is to make money while I sleep. So, if I can get on the residuals, which is, placements and such through music, to be on TV, to be on this podcast as well, So
let's do it.
That's my ideal day, to wake up and just to be able to create freely, and then to also have my creations be used, and in that realm, like, that's the perfect day for me, like, just to be able to create and do what I love. So at 80 capacity, whether I'm creating for somebody else, because I have different artists that I record, and then also creating my own music, like that would be the perfect day for me, just to wake up and do that.
Well, it's like breathing for you, for sure.
Yeah, it's not even work. Like, it's not even work.
Yeah,
it's
you wake
not
up
even work.
Well, Cedi said, now you are responsible for the beautiful entry music for Queen V and Dr. E podcast. Can you give us a little jingle? How did you come up with that? And can you just sing it for us live and live in color?
You want me to sing it live?
I love to
Living
hear
color.
it because I
Woo.
sing it in my sleep. It's like, oh my gosh, how did he come up with that? I mean, it really fits who we are, and I just love it. And our viewing and listening audience, they need to know that you are the man behind the voice. You are the voice. You are, because people are telling me, oh, Marilyn, you did a really good job with that music. I said, I didn't do that. Well, who did it? And I let them know. It's Cedie said that did it. Well, how do you do it? I cannot answer that question, but you can answer it right now.
Yeah, so really easy, and you're gonna be mad at me for this. It was the freestyle. It was a freestyle. So anytime, like I make music, like I said, it's a connection to the emotions. So more of the prep work comes before I actually make the music. I have to get my head in the right space, and then just pretty much emotionally embody what subject matter that I'm thinking. So I have to take and then once I get there, all it is. So from there, like that full embodiment of just, what you guys are about. My mom only, and the love that comes from that. Like it made it easy. And I'm not gonna lie, I made it in like a day and then refined it. But it was just something that, like I said, I just have to get emotionally in that state. And then once I get there, it's just all about just the release, and that's it, and capturing that release.
Okay, so let's hear it. Let's hear that.
Yeah.
Queen V and Dr. E.
Yeah. Queen V and Dr. E. Yeah. Hey. Oh man. No, I got it.
They got audacity.
Audacity. Yes. They got audacity
to believe.
Yeah. To believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Queen V and Dr. E, they got audacity to believe. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh wow.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful voice.
There's no auto tuning here. This is a real,
no.
Real dude. The real, the gifted producer. Now you also, I know, have a whole production facility in your home. Now, how many artists do you produce, and do you actively, if someone wanted to get in touch with you to produce them, is that something you would be interested in?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do it all the time. I got an artist actually flying in, country artists flying in, from across the country. So I want to say he's from like Minnesota area. I don't know exactly where in Minnesota, but he's flying in just to record with me. I don't know how many recording studios you go past along the way, probably a couple hundred. But he's coming just to record with me. And I've had that happen over and over again, just because people, they like to work with a certain people, but also my flavor that I provide. So I mean, on the daily, I have all the instruments as far as drums, bass, guitars, ukulele, keyboards, got congas in there. So we can do live instruments, also do the electronic instruments as well. So I've recorded, country music to rap music to R&B, even done some funk as well. And then a little bit of jazz, not to mention. So it's been fun just to mess with all the little genres, which I do personally already. So it's right in my alley, and it's been fun. And I'm also employed at Hear No Evil Studios, that's in Orange County, and so that's where I worked with Morris Day and a couple other bigger artists, like metal artists and different artists like that. So it's really a wide spectrum of artists that I work with. And if you do need to reach me, it would be cedibeats@gmail.com, CEDI BEATS, cedibeats@gmail.com. Anytime. And we can make something happen and schedule go to work.
You are number one with a bullet. I know you are going to be so huge, and people need to grab you while they can, like we did. Because I was like, I don't know, in a year or so, we might not be able to afford my son.
But I have a question.
I give you the family discount.
I have a question. It's really clear that you love what you do. For those parents that are pushing their kids into the arts, and they want their kids to play the piano, and they want their kids to play the ukulele or whatever it may be. Just beating the information into their heads or on their fingers or whatever. What do you say to those parents as far as, you know, back off and listen to your child like you're or do you encourage the parents to keep pushing? I'd like for you to address that, please.
Yeah, so it's two different issues with that. So the one issue, because I even had an employee tell me about how she had, it was an old school nun, which every time she messed up on the piano would hit her on the fingers, like say, wow, you know, you messed up on the piano. So I've had, you know, people that have been traumatized by the whole situation, as far as, you know, being turned off to a musical instrument because it was forced upon them. Also, I've seen where it was forced upon them and it built a sense of character where they knew that if they had a certain dedication to anything, they can apply that. So they can build upon, you know, even that skill, even though they don't like music particularly, but that character of being able to build upon these essential foundations, these fundamentals, and to be able to rise, you know, to a higher point. So it really depends on the individual and the environment on how they perceive what's going on. And then, you know, the care that's taken with the parents, because the way it's put on somebody, you know, in a forceful manner, you know, it could be character building or it could be detrimental to their character. So it's a really hard balance, that if the parents are not nurturing enough, and in the care that's, you know, provided with it, even if per se, like, you know, they get onto the instrument, but they don't like it. If the parents just say, you know, I know you don't, you know, maybe this is not your favorite instrument, but these are the building blocks and the fundamentals that you're going to need later, you know, to apply to anything. And, you know, I want you to use what you've learned here in this experience and apply it to the next thing that you love, you know, and then know that you can perpetuate yourself to higher heights. So if it's approached that way, and, you know, then it can be a powerful thing. But, you know, it can be approached with that negative light to where it's, you know, like a condescending thing, and, you know, they end up hating it. So, so at the end of the day, it all depends on that approach and, you know, how the perception is between parent and also the child.
Well, you know, I'm glad you're mentioning that, because I know that when I was little, I was that kid where a music teacher would hit my fingers when I was playing the piano. And I hated the piano and not want anything to do with it. However, as an adult, I decided that I wanted my child to play the piano because I didn't learn how to play. And then my mother says something very important to me, is because I was trying to force it on my child. And she said, look, I didn't force it on you, so why are you forcing it on her? And then I said, but I bought this piano and it's sitting in my living room. Somebody got to play it, you know? And but then I really thought deeply about what my mother said. And so I finally got rid of the piano and then asked my daughter, well, what do you want to play? And she said, I want to play the drums. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to listen to drums around in my house. But I had to be proud of me as the parent and really listen to my daughter. And she's an artist, but we had to find what kind of artist she would ultimately be. And we had to let her decide that, not me. And so we went through a whole bunch of instruments and none of them worked out, but she's still an artist and she does other stuff, more visual arts. And so I really appreciate what you're sharing, is because sometimes we can get locked in as parents and we want something for our child that may not necessarily be for them. But I'm super, super happy that your parents listened to you and they followed you rather than you following anything else. And so I appreciate that.
Well, there was a little bit of adversity, I'm not gonna lie, because I wanted to play the drums too when I was 5. And I ended up playing, like, you know, in the church setting, but like at home, they wouldn't buy me no drum set, I'll tell you that.
We're not trying to hear all that.
Like I ended up, I remember this guy, it was a rich guy too, this guy, Chris Eastman, his dad, I remember he owned the pencil company, the number 2 pencils. So like, I don't even know how, but he ended up having 2 drum sets. He's like, I'll sell you this drum set for $150. So I saved up money washing cars. I would actually trace Disney pictures and then color them in and then go door to door and sell them. So I did that and then saved up and bought this drum set. Like did whatever I could. Like, so
Well, I know also that you come from a very musically endowed family. I think there's
Oh,
a lot in the genetics because, of
yeah.
course, your dad was a phenomenal singer, your uncle's a phenomenal singer, your grandmother. How has that impacted your singing ability? Does it just feel natural, like it's something everyone did, and so you do it as well? How did that transpire?
Yeah, so it was pretty much always, music was always present. Unfortunately, my mom's side of the family not very musically down, but mom couldn't sing a lick, but dad could sing. But mom had good taste in music because she would have the Sade on. She would, have what was it, Donnie McClurkin on, Michael Jackson. So it was just all this music influence. And with my dad, him singing, and I really like that, and I always tried to emulate it. So whatever I heard, that was the first thing I tried to do. Like Tony Braxton, I would try to sing like Tony Braxton. Like, like it was just something I always tried to emulate, and then just being able to see it firsthand and the comfortability that he had with it just already made me in this spot to where, okay, yeah, I can do it too. So, I never really had this inkling where I doubted myself, I guess. And
Yeah.
then, just growing up, just kind of confirmation, okay, I guess I can do this. Either that or all these people are lying to me, but oh well.
Well, it's always been so natural to you, like
Yeah.
breathing. You are
Yeah,
a
that's
born worshiper, musician, psalmist, producer. It's just innate in you. But I love that you are audacious enough to follow your dreams. Now, what does that look like for you? That, because I'm certain that people
Mhm.
could try to talk you out of what you want to become. And
Yeah.
how do you fight that?
Well, yeah, that's definitely a hard thing if you don't have your purpose and your mission, first and foremost. So I mean, my purpose is to be able to express my soul. I mean, my heart is God first and foremost, but to be able to express my soul in a capacity that's going to help and genuine and um, really, because when I first made my music, let me rewind. When I first made my music, it was for me. It was definitely a form of release, form of meditation, a form of healing. So now when I make music, I want people to be able to heal as well too. So in any capacity, even if I'm producing for somebody else or anything like that, I definitely want to have that within my production, to where it's gonna differentiate me for sure. But I want people to be able to see the heart, and where my heart is. And with that, I'm able to express through music, because like I said, music is the expression of those emotions. And if I can bring people to a place, that where they're hurting, a place of sorrow, and we can change that into positive, into God-fearing people, and like I make secular music, everything, but you got to meet people where they are.
Right.
So whether it be, in a ditch, like, I've had some experiences that, aren't the best, but at the same time, that built my character, that made me who I am today. And I know that I'm at a position where, like, no, I don't want to go back there, but hey, I see you there. Let me help you see the betterment of where you can be, and let me help you out of this position into a better platform in life. And if that's just to be able to smile and thank God for the day, then that's good enough for me. So
Well, absolutely. You are a gift, the nicest. And I think that that's why people will fly from all over the country to be produced by you, because you are genuinely, authentically one of the nicest, most humble people that has this degree of talent that anyone would ever meet. So just much success to you. So very, very proud of you, sir.
Oh,
You
thank
are
you.
amazing. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
He said we're going to wrap it up right now, but thank you for being the author, the producer of Queen Bee and Dr. E.
EA.
We
Yeah.
audacity. You don't want me to try to
Yeah.
sing. I'm run off on
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
To believe, it's Queen V and Dr. E. We got audacity to believe, Queen V and Dr. E. We got audacity to believe, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Oh, from Cedi said himself. Thank you, Cedi.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you.
Blessings.
We love you. God bless you. And I pray that you get the desires of your heart. And I just know that there's wonderful things that are happening with you. And I love the fact that you are following your dreams and never quit, never give up. Keep doing you. Keep doing the world, giving the world a blessing. And that is you. So I thank you. So Queen V, you want to wrap it up?
Yes, indeed, Dr. E. Again, for our listening, viewing audience, you can find Cedi said at cedibeats@gmail.com. And he's on Instagram very prolifically all the time. You can find him at Cedi Beats. And you can find us at queenbandre.com. And we are on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, we are there. And we hope that you like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.